everybody, it's Paul again. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my early childhood when I was a kid in Zimbabwe in a little village called Arnoldine Mission. So my parents were missionaries, left the United States when I was 4 years old. I would tell stories of swimming across the ocean and working my way through the jungle. No, just kidding. Actually, Sunday school classes would eat that up. Anyway, we were truly in a little tiny village. I'd say there were maybe 50 huts. This is your traditional grass roof huts. There was no running water, no electricity. That was my early childhood. My first memories, basically, from age 4 through age 8 were in this village in Zimbabwe. It was Rhodesia back then. So at age 4, I was thrown right into I think I had turned 5 by the time we were in the village, and I was thrown into first grade. The only white child in that school, little African village school. Our classroom was mud floors, no windows, well, holes in the wall for windows, no glass in other words. And we had no books, papers, there was a chalkboard, I think. But we would go outside and do our work in the sand. So we would draw lines and then learn how to write letters in the sand. We would do our math, 1 + 1, back in first grade, of course. I was very blessed to have a first grade teacher who took me after school those first few months and helped me learn the language. And a very interesting side note, I very quickly became fluent in Shona and struggled more in English than my African peers. Apparently my brain only likes one language at a time or something. So I was one of the worst spellers in my class through the early grades. Perhaps it was dyslexia too, I'm not sure. But anyway, what a childhood to get immersed in a language. I learned the lesson that is the age. If you want to give a gift to your child of a second language, expose them, immerse them at a very young age. And language just comes naturally to children at that age. I think our brains are just wired to accept that type of learning at that age. I know that's true for music too. What an aside. Sorry, I'm all over the place on this video. I wanted to tell you about my village life. And there's going to be more than one video about my village experience and some of the lessons I learned in Africa. But here I was, a white kid with shoes, and shoes was really the only difference I knew between myself and my friends who were all Africans. And because basically I didn't see color, I don't remember my friends seeing color. And so as I got back to the United States for college and then my adult life, you know, there's so much about race relations and the challenges with race, and I just never saw that growing up. It didn't exist. I sort of would joke in my young adulthood that I was a white African, and you know, if you cut yourself, we all bleed red, and you know, there's really truth that the human nature and human beings, we're not that different, folks. We're products of our upbringing and our experience. And the generations that went before us, whose upbringing and experience makes a collective wisdom or lack of wisdom, perhaps in some cases. Anyway, back to the village. I had the blessing of having an extra set of parents. Initially, my mom started a clinic as a nurse, and she was the only healthcare provider for I'd say 50 miles around. Very quickly, word got out in that village area that there was I think they probably said a doctor, but she was a nurse, and buses would bring sick people in to see her. And so she was one of the key health providers, and it quickly became very busy. At the time, my father was traveling the country, setting up youth programs, and not that available. So, and we have a kitten playing in the background if you hear a rolling ball. Another little side note, quite a blessing. So I was blessed with this second set of parents. My Rhoda, in Zimbabwe, you are identified as the mother of your firstborn. So Rhoda is my African sister. Her mother, my Rhoda, the mother of Rhoda, basically helped raise me those formative years and was around me right through high school. Always a close part of our family, and in fact, those two families became united as down the road topic for another video, Maya and Baba Rhoda were tragically killed. My parents took in all those children who I call my siblings. So, way too much information for a short video, but I wanted to give you a little hint about my past in the village, and there'll be more to come. Thanks for watching. I'm Paul.